Upgrades.
Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? It's the Samuel here representing TeamJVS, here to give you guys another movie review. This is an anime movie. This comes out February the 3rd, 2023, and I'm talking about Sword Art Online Progressive Scherzo of the Deep Night. Now, this is technically a sequel to the first movie, which was Sword Art Online Progressive Aria of a Starless Night. Now, Starless Night, it kind of had front and center Asuna's story. Like, it started with her, much like I guess how the light novels actually worked. Like, this is more true to form than to what the manga actually depicted versus where the anime went. And this time it kind of picks up from where that left off, where, you know, Kirito and Asuna are still very much so partners and working through. And Asuna, she is getting extensively very good. Like, she's progressing, like she's learning new skill sets, like she's becoming a leader, like people are looking to her, and Kirito wants to protect her, but she's also coming into her own. Like, she's dealing with her own past as well as trying to conquer what semblance of a future she has in this death game. Now, this is the thing. When the first movie came out, I was kind of like, if you've seen the anime, you've seen the first season, which I've seen multiple different times, Japanese and dubbed, you already know where this is going, except for certain threads. Like, there are certain characters that you're like, oh, okay, I never knew of this character, and I find them very fascinating. Like Mito. Mito, first episode, you're like, oh wow, she's beast. Like, you understand fully how and why there's a connection between her and Asuna, right? But then in this one, like, she comes back, but she's still the same exact character. It's more so Asuna trying to figure herself out. This is the weird thing about these two movies, or I'll just say this movie. Not only is it feel predictable, but I feel like I haven't gone anywhere. Whereas, like, with the season, you progress, and then you go through, right? I really wish that these were just seasons. I wish, like, you take both of these movies and just make them into a season. Because the truth of the matter is, even when this ends, it feels like it doesn't. It feels like, oh wow, we got another movie that's going to be coming up. And I hate to say it like that, because I am a huge Sword Art Online fan. I literally own all the box sets of all of them. Season 1, Season 2, Alicization, War for the Underworld. I own all these limited box sets. And I was going to own, you know, the progressive, you know, Starlight one. But I was kind of like, I'll wait till the next one come out. And then I watched this one, and I really was not impressed. Like, I was very much so, unfortunately, underwhelmed, because whereas I like the narrative and how they're handling, like, a character like Mito. Like, I do. I even like how they're handling a character like Argo. Like, Argo is in this, right? And they give her a moment, and you're like, wow, I didn't know about this character. Like, wow, there's a lot of strength to her. Like, she's a very fascinating, interesting character, but she's in this very small amount. And they use her very well in it, but it feels like these movies, they don't feel like movies. They feel like TV movies, if that makes any sense to you. Because when Ordinal Scale came out, whether you've seen the show or not, like, it slaps. Like, it is all the way in there, right? And if you've seen Alicization, and you compare the animation to Alicization to just even this movie, not even the first one, it's like, no. Like, Alicization, just on animation level, is better. Like, the fights are better. Like, the intensity, everything about it is so much better. Whereas with this, like, not only do I know where this narrative is going, I do care about these characters. That's what's so unfortunate. I do care about Kirito. I do care about Asuna. I love seeing them in different situations. Yes, I do love seeing their character progression being deepened because of circumstance. Now, there is one thing in this movie that I found very fascinating, and that is where they're handling the antagonist in this and talking about things that the first season never did. Those moments, whether it's Argo, whether it's Mito, whether it is this presence, those are all key things, and that's the only reason why I would watch this again. Because honestly, outside of that, I don't have a real motivator, because even when the action is going, it doesn't feel better than the action I've seen in the last season. So for a movie to feel very underwhelming, like I just could not, it just didn't give me that win. I think that the first movie actually worked better, to be honest, because with that, you know, I was pleasantly surprised. With this, it feels like much of the same. So that's why I'm saying, I'm prefacing it like this. If this was initially just a season where they kind of released out like maybe 3 or 5 episodes, they waited, did another 5 episodes, I'd rather them do it like that than wait each year do one of these kind of movies like this. It just does not, it doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately. And it's hard for me to even say this because I love Sword Art Online. I love it. I'm trying to navigate my emotions with this while also trying to deliver from a critical standpoint, because the animation's not as better as Alicization. Voice acting is good. I think the dialogue is good between the different characters. The character progression is pretty decent. But in terms of me, the rewatchability and me getting something more out of this, it just doesn't feel as fulfilling. And maybe it's because these are separated. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a chore because now I'm like in my head like, oh, I got another one I gotta watch. Like, there's no closure to this. It's just continuation of what I've already seen. Part of me is kind of like, can we just get another season? Like after Alicization, because it feels like this. Not that this is a placeholder until that comes out, but kind of. And I hate seeing this. This actually really hurts me to say all this. I'd probably risk this at like a 6 out of 10. I would buy it because I am a Sword Art Online fan. I would only rewatch it if I was kind of going through the first movie. And I'm not talking about on a scale, I'm talking about the first progressive movie and then watching this. Because then it would kind of like, I feel like some sense of progression. But realistically, like, I would have preferred them to either one, just remaster or redo it as a whole season. And I think that would have came out a lot better off. But I want you guys to let me know what you think. I don't want you guys to feel negatively slighted by my comments because I am such a big fan of it. I want you to be able to go into it, you know, free of my issues with it. But make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this does hurt me to say because I am such a big fan of Sword Art Online. But I had to give you guys my clear perspective on it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Peace, people.
Filing out the top